Yosemite or bust!
I recently set out to continue my solo southbound hike along the Pacific Crest Trail, picking up from Tuolumne Meadows in Yosemite where I got off trail last year to head 600 miles until I reached I-15 and Cajon Pass in Southern California. Well, you can guess by the title of this video, that didn't go as planned.
After missing my bus stop, it's gonna be a hot one.
Sierra mist. Feeling the Sierra mist all on my body.
Work it. Yes. Yes. Got some stuff that's heavy on my mind.
Use my birthday shoes.
The one thing that I've been the most scared about this entire trip, and I'm facing that fear today.
It was the scariest thing I've ever done.
Tea! I drink with gentleman bread. Happy birthday to you. Oh, let's go!
Finish that hellacious climb.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. I hopped on a Yards bus from Merced, California. Originally, my bus ride had gotten canceled the day before due to a fire breaking out in Mariposa, which had closed the highway, but thankfully they were able to get the fire out. I rode the Yards bus for 3 hours into Yosemite National Park to Yosemite Village, and then hopped on another Yards bus for another 2 hours where I eventually reached Tuolumne Meadows.
After missing my bus stop, because they changed the bus stop around Tuolumne Meadows, I am starting my hike.
From Tuolumne Meadows, I had to hike 6 to 7 miles to where I could camp for the night, and this was after almost a full day of traveling on a bus. But my spirits were high, and I was really excited to start my trip, even if the weather was blazing hot outside. Did I mention that the whole area had been under a heat advisory warning? Yeah, apparently I was hiking out into a brutal heat dome that was escalating and would be causing temperatures in the area to surge over the next few days. My first official morning on trail seemed promising. I got up early to hopefully beat some of the heat since I'd have a 2,300 foot climb over 6 miles up to Donohue Pass, which sits at 11,073 feet. I mean, what could go wrong? Spoiler alert, I made it and it was beautiful. Shortly after, I found a nicely shaded area near some water where I stopped and took a leisurely lunch. After lunch, I continued hiking and found this really nice secluded tent site that I got to enjoy all to myself at Thousand Island Lakes.
And the bugs are already out, and it's not even 6 a.m. Who am I to pass up perfectly good pit toilet?
Since the bridge was out, nope, I didn't ford this water crossing. I took an alternate into Red's Meadow where I got to stop by the Devil's Postpal National Monument and ended up having it all to myself that afternoon. At Red's, I camped at the nearby campground, which the site came with a stream, a metal bear box to store all my food in, and a picnic table. Luxury. Best $5 I've spent out on trail so far for this trip.
Day 4, ready to climb all the way up to Virginia Lake. It's gonna be a hot one. Virginia Lake, right through there.
It was here at Virginia Lake where I got annihilated with bug bites, but in this moment, I didn't care. All I could think about was getting into this lake because it was so hot. The hike up and over Silver Pass was beautiful and hot. There wasn't much shade now that I was above the tree line. The best part of the day, though, was making the 4:45 ferry into VVR, where I'd be taking a 0 day. VVR had everything I needed and more. Flush toilets, warm showers, laundry, a general store to resupply in, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I even decided to treat myself to a tent cabin for the night because why not? While at VVR, I met a trail family. Both Rustic and MacGyver had a similar itinerary as me for the next week and were leaving VVR on the same ferry as I was.
Just a balmy day on Lake Edison. Zero mist. Feeling zero mist all on my body.
So we decided to pal up and hike together for the next section.
I've got some stuff that's heavy on my mind. I have a 2,500 foot climb out of here today, this morning. And then that big river fording the next day. And there's dry lightning in the forecast for this weekend, so today and tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes.
Birthday shoes.
An afternoon thunder and lightning storm caused us to stop and huddle under MacGyver's tarp while we waited out the storm. Thankfully, the sun came out and dried us off as we made our way up to Marie Lake for the evening.
first lessons I learned through hiking the PCT was to be flexible and go with the flow, and to not be stuck to any particular outcome. Even if you have a planned itinerary, things change and it's totally fine. And sometimes things change and you end up having an experience that you could have never planned, and it ends up being way better than something you could have planned. That's exactly what's happening with my hike this year. Originally, my itinerary had me going to I-15 Cajon Pass, which meant hiking 300 miles in the desert in July and August, which I was really nervous about. And now I was thinking I can get as far to Hatcheby, but maybe I just go to Kennedy Meadows. I'm just going with the flow and having a good time while I'm out here. Work it, yes, yes.
Later on in the afternoon, we took a side trail down to Muir Trail Ranch and scored a bunch of snacking treasures while we're here for the hour, thanks to some of the other fellow hikers. I even got to wash my hands and throw out my trash. This would be tomorrow's problem.
Today is big river crossing day. The one thing that I've been the most scared about this entire trip, and I'm facing that fear today.
Here's where we crossed.
It was the scariest thing I've ever done, was cross that river and go around that rock. 10 out of 10 do not recommend.
And here's how we felt after doing the notorious water crossing. There's nothing like singing a little sound of music to help calm your nerves. And yes, the water crossing came up to my waist on that one. And here we are visiting the site of the previous bridge. R.I.P. Bridge.
Crossings today. But today we have Muir Pass, and at the top of Muir Pass is the Muir Shelter, and it's also Rustic's birthday, so we're going to have a celebratory Snickers at the shelter. It's so beautiful out here, so beautiful.
you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rustic and Tante. I was like, which one do we do?
Wrong take.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thanks, guys! Yay! Team Cackle for the win!
It was here on the trail where Rustic, MacGyver, and I would briefly part ways. The next morning, I got up early to hike up and over Bishop Pass.
Finished that hellacious climb up to the top of Bishop Pass. Now I have 5.4 miles to get to the South Lake trailhead and hopefully get a hitch into Bishop for a 0 day. And the rest of the 5.4 miles is all downhill. Thank God.
From here, I headed into Bishop for a much-needed town day with these two doing all of the town chores like eating town food, picking boxes up at the post office, doing our laundry, resupplying our food for the next section, and sleeping in a bed with air conditioning. This is also where I made the tough decision to end my solo hike this year and head somewhere else.